organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, a student organization aims to go from local to global. Find out what they're doing coming up.
Historic problems from halfway around the world are still apparent today. Iowa City raises awareness next.
Coming up in sports, we catch up with former Hawkeye tight end Ray Hamilton as the NFL draft quickly approaches.
We're bringing you all of that and more.
You're watching Daily Iowan TV.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Michelle Nago.
And I'm Mary Caldwell. Relief efforts continue in Nepal after the earthquake on Saturday, and their international call for help reached Iowa City today. Over 5,000 people died, while a huge number of homeless survivors are in need of tents, food, and water. A group of people were raising money on the Pedmal to send to the struggling country. A West High student has a special reason for helping the cause.
All my family is still outside their houses right now because the aftershakes are so bad and you can't go inside the building because the aftershakes didn't go for weeks.
The group plans to hold a candlelight vigil later this week and will be accepting donations again tomorrow.
As we're coming to the end of World Immunization Week, Iowa City and the University of Iowa have made their own efforts to give children around the world a shot at life. Reporter Bobby Wanka Malasai has the story.
April 18th to the 30th marks World Immunization Week, but the efforts by doctors and World Health Organizations continue far beyond this week.
So here in the United States and in many developed countries, we do have access to vaccines that are safe and effective. Those vaccines are being promoted by our World Health Organization as well as by our other global partners. So at some point, we will have universal global immunization.
The world still loses millions of young children each year from lack of vaccines. War-torn countries are hit the hardest, and even though some regions may be 8,000 miles from Iowa City, the 1 in 5 children who still don't have access to vaccines benefit from help no matter the distance.
Lots of children are still dying from things that they shouldn't be dying from anymore because it's preventable.
The ideal vaccine covers immunity, safety, stability, cost, and variability for its effectiveness.
The fact that these are young lives that are being lost for a simple $2 vaccine is kind of heart-wrenching.
The Immunity Campaign, University of Iowa Student Organization, advocates and fundraises for accessible vaccines and world immunization. Working with the United Nations Foundation and Shot at Life, the Immunity Campaign joins the fight for equal vaccination of polio, measles, and pneumonia.
What we really need to do is to get the vaccines to the areas of the world where they just don't have any, where these mothers are they're strapping their kids to their backs and walking 2 days just to get to a place where they can get a vaccine. It's just, so this is the least we can do.
$5 protects a child from polio and measles. $15 saves a child from pneumonia and diarrhea. $20 vaccinates a child from all 4. Donations travel 8,000 miles to provide a healthier and safer childhood. Reporting from Iowa City, Iowa, Bobby Wanka-Malasai, Daily Iowan TV.
Presidential candidate Hillary Clinton is showing promise among Iowa Democrats, according to a new Loras College poll. 57% of Iowa Democrats likely to vote in the caucus would vote for Clinton. Clinton's not planning any Iowa visits in the immediate future, but possible presidential hopefuls are. Donald Trump is stopping in Cedar Rapids this evening, while Chris Christie is planning his 5th trip to Iowa this year, but neither have officially announced their candidacy.
Iowa lawmakers are cutting funding for the University of Iowa and reallocating those funds to Iowa State and Northern Iowa. This comes as an effort to prioritize schools that enroll more in-state students and make sure Iowans' tax dollars benefit specifically Iowa students. This budget would redistribute $12.9 million from the UI and give it to Iowa State and UNI. In addition to the UI, community colleges will also not benefit. There is no funding increase for them.
The Iowa City Community School Board discussed some boundary options for secondary schools on Tuesday night. The changes to the school boundaries would assign Kirkwood Elementary Schools to North Central rather than Northwest Junior High. With the changes, Kirkwood, Garner, Van Allen, and Penn Elementary students would attend Liberty High. The Iowa City Community School District will be will be listening for feedback at Southeast and Southwest junior highs next week. If changes do pass, they will take effect in 2017.
And Mary, a lot of sunshine this week.
I know, it's so beautiful. I'm so excited. I hope it keeps up for the rest of the week.
Me too.
So Megan, is it gonna keep shining?
The weather was absolutely perfect today, guys. Tomorrow should be another sunny day, but a little on the cooler side. As we start our Thursday morning, we'll have temperatures in the upper 40s with clear skies. That sun will be sticking around as we head into the afternoon with temps in the 60s. By Thursday night, we can expect 58 degrees with a clear, starry sky. Taking a look ahead at the weekend, it looks like some gorgeous weather coming our way. Friday and Saturday will be in the 70s with mostly cloudy skies. Sunday has a high of 80 degrees with a chance of thunderstorms. Those storms may continue on to Monday and Tuesday with temperatures in the high 70s. That's all I have tonight in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
The current Johnson County Ambulance Building has been located at the same address for over a quarter of a century. Now a new facility is finally being made. The Johnson County Board of Supervisors is currently looking at 3 possible contractors for the new Johnson County Ambulance Building. It's going to cost an estimated $3.4 million. Today, the Board of Supervisors will be holding interviews with the top 3 companies, including the Carlson Design Team, Rohrbach Associates, and OPN Architects. The new building will be located on South Dubuque Street and will house ambulance services, the medical examiner's office, and as well as the facilities department and storage space for the auditor's office.
The call volume in Iowa City is going up, and with the staffing, really we can't keep up. We have more paramedics now than when this building was built, so we don't have enough sleeping quarters for everybody for the night shift.
For more information on the project, contact the Johnson County Ambulance Services at the number below.
The complicated uprising among Arab countries, commonly known as the Arab Spring, occurred back in 2011, but it remains an important issue today. The University of Iowa kicked off their 2015 Provosts Global Forum yesterday to talk about the Arab Spring. Suen Wang has the story.
The Arab Spring was a revolutionary wave of demonstrations to protest the riots and the civil wars in the Arab world. It began on December 2010 in Tunisia with the Tunisia Revolution. To talk about the Arab Spring in a global context, UI hosts experts and researchers from around the world for the 2015 Provosts Global Forum from April 28th to May 1st. The forum explores the complex and intriguing events of the Arab Spring and the changing face of U.S. Middle East foreign policy.
To help bring awareness to this kind of big deal in history, these big countries doing all these overthrowing of dictators, that was a major part of history, I feel like, not just to the Middle East, but to all foreign countries. So it's good to help raise awareness and raise to get people thinking about what Middle Easterns were doing at the time.
There are international guests for lectures, discussions, art, and music events. A display from the University Library's exhibition in the Old Capitol will also be run until May 15th. Siwen Wang, the Iowan TV.
With riots breaking out in Baltimore, Ferguson, Missouri is becoming violent again too. At least 2 people were shot in separate incidents late last night in Ferguson as hundreds gathered in support for the Baltimore riots. A Ferguson spokesperson said it's been difficult for police to investigate, with rocks being thrown at them, and they're not sure if the shootings are related to the protests. Protesters even torched a porta-pot. This all comes in response to the death of 25-year-old Freddie Gray, who died of a spinal cord injury a week after being arrested by Baltimore police.
Today marks the very first Major League Baseball game that will be played at an empty stadium. The Baltimore Orioles were supposed to play the Chicago White Sox in Baltimore on Monday and Tuesday, but both games were postponed due to the riots. Now, due to a tight schedule, the MLB decided to play the game with no fans rather than postponing it a third time. Fans will be able to exchange tickets for another home game in the future.
I'm sure Dwayne Banks Field looks a lot like the Orioles game last night by the time they finished up. Iowa went into 18 innings.
Oh, wow. That's essentially 2 entire games of baseball.
Wow. To find out how the team fared in that matchup and hear from another NFL hopeful, we'll toss it over to Whitney Blakemore and Jordan Maloney in the sports studio.
And we'll get to that game in just a bit, but first we have another former Iowa football hopeful looking to make a name for himself in the NFL, tight end Ray Hamilton.
The former Hawkeye pulled in 29 receptions for 305 yards in his career at Iowa, averaging 10.5 yards a carry.
I sat down with Hamilton one-on-one in this exclusive interview about what his future may hold. Ray, just kind of talk to me about why did you choose football in the first place? Why did you choose that as your sport?
Well, growing up, actually my first love was basketball. But then my dad actually played football at West Virginia, so I figured I was probably going to fit that mold and that I'd have the best opportunity to go furthest with football, so I decided to go with football and give that my best shot.
And so then you decided to come to Iowa, and just talk to me about your career. You came here and had to wait 3 years behind now NFL pro CJ Fedorowicz. Kind of talk to me about that. What was it like sitting behind him and just kind of learning and waiting for your turn?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty humbling at first. You know, I came in here probably like a lot of high school guys, not realizing what it took to play at this level. You know, that's the one thing I knew that I was coming to Iowa, is that there was going to be great competition at the tight end position especially. And that was one of the big selling points, is that I knew that if I came here, you know, followed the best coaches in the country, the best strength staff in the country, that I'd have an opportunity to potentially get to play on Sundays and reach the ultimate goal.
So talking about the NFL, what are kind of your aspirations? Where do you hope to go after you graduate in just a few weeks?
I'd be happy to go anywhere and try to help any team out, you know, and compete to even make a team. You know, I don't take anything for granted. You know, I pray and I hope that an opportunity, the team is willing to give me an opportunity, and I just go in there and I compete. But, you know, I'm just going to control what I can control, continue to work out here, let this weekend happen, hopefully for the best, and then, you know, we'll deal with it from there.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ray, for giving me the time. You can catch the entire interview on DailyIowanSports.com. And it may have taken nearly 6 hours and 18 innings, but the Iowa baseball team came away with its 31st win of the season Tuesday night against Sacramento State by a score of 4-3.
This is the first back-to-back 30-win season under second-year head coach Rick Heller since 1990. I took a midseason look at what has been turning into an historic time for Iowa baseball. The Iowa baseball team has found great success in their play so far this year. But this success goes further than wins and losses. With much of the season still left to play, this team has already rewritten records and created a place for themselves in program history. Currently ranked 15th by Collegiate Baseball, the team was able to find themselves a national ranking for the first time since 1990. Black and Gold have won all 5 of their Big Ten series so far, including sweeps over Indiana, Purdue, and Nebraska. They've won 8 consecutive series, recording no losing weekends in 2015.
To sweep anybody is not easy, and you know, to get off to that great start, I don't think it's unexpected, but it's great that it happened.
Their 31-11 record marks the best season start since 1990, when the team was 27-11. Despite strong pitching and defense highlighting this season and batting progressively creating an impact, the key to the season's success stems from their relentless drive, focus, and teamwork. With 4 walk-off wins and 1 18-inning game, these Hawkeyes live up to the fight song, battling until the game is won.
You know, kind of coach talked about it, you know, just kind of relaxing and playing, you know, the way you've played your whole life, and that's kind of what we did tonight.
The Hawkeyes' record-setting team hopes to create success throughout the remainder of the season by continuing to focus one game at a time. That's all for today in baseball. I'm Jordan Maloney with Daily Iowan TV Sports.
So I have to ask, what was it like being there for a whole 18 innings for the game?
It was the longest game of my life, but the Hawkeyes definitely kept it very exciting all 18 innings.
And to wrap things up, tune in to Thursday night's program as we round out our final NFL Draft Prospects interviews, this time with one of Iowa's best set of hands and now a record holder.
Mary and Michelle, back to you at the desk.
Well, that's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow evening for more of the latest news.
Or you can check us out on YouTube. Just search for Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for watching. I'm Michelle Nago.
And I'm Mary Caldwell. Have a great night.